Set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Now Taylor. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run with Taylor. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Gurley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd and 2. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On first down, it's Gurley. He's got the first down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start first and 10. On first down, it's Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On second down now, it's Taylor. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. So on fourth down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And Woods has it complete. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On third down, Patterson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Got it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Henderson now on 1st and 10. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On the carry is Henderson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught by Jones. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Throw left side complete. It's Black. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because
and he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Aaron Donald in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Taylor, and a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Back to throw. Patterson. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Here we go. The 8-3 Gator. Watch 54. Switch up. Ready.
They'll try a handoff right with Gurley. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think it'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
First down run there for Gurley, but nothing opening up as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Ready, break.
56. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Now it's Gurley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time, and it's third down. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw on 3rd down, Patterson. And able to find Dorsett. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forcing some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They run. It's Gurley. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for L.A. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking to throw. Patterson. Complete to Dorsett. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a run with Henderson. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Darrell Henderson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter now from Jacksonville. And the lead has gotten even bigger. The Texans have got it in cruise control right now. The drive starts with a completion left side. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. On first down, it's Henderson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
70, Indy. Hey, team 6, team 6.
To throw on second down, Patterson. That's caught by Jackson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the gun on 3rd down, Patterson. Dorsett's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run on first down. Henderson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run here with Henderson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Darrell Henderson, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Patriots.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that side.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Donald in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he gets it to Funchess complete. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Let's go.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They'll set up a throw. Offense, and that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Patriots get a score closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd down, it's Henderson. Oh, the spin, and some room to work. And they'll line wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Looking for Woods that time, and now it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself. And that's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They are on to the 4th quarter in Jacksonville. It's the Texans firmly in control of that one. They've scored again. They go play action here on 1st down. A win would be just their 2nd of the year if they could hold on. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Patterson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here.